Thousands of people throughout history have tried to explain Jew hatred and why people are so hell bent on hating Jews, how the irrationality of it, the obsession. And obviously, the last year has been no exception. There have been an insane amount of people hating Jews and a lot of people trying to explain that. Among them, there was this old clip that resurfaced recently of Thomas Sowell, an incredible author. Definitely recommend you check out his books. He was explaining Jew hatred and why people hate the Jews. So check it out.
You have a chapter. That's the first chapter is black rednecks and white liberals. The second chapter is, are Jews generic?
Mm-hmm.
Why the jump from black rednecks and white liberals to are Jews generic? What's the point?
Well, this book is really about ethnic and cultural issues in general. So there's a chapter on the Jews, there's a chapter on the Germans, and then there's a chapter on history in general. So that's they're lumped together because they're all cultural ethnic issues. Fascinating story, because among the middleman minorities, of which the Jews are the most prominent, the hostility to these people in countries around the world is out of all proportion to any other kind of group I can think of. In terms of violence, the number of Chinese killed, let's say, in 1 year, and by mob action, exceeds all the blacks lynched in the entire history of the United States. And the number of Armenians killed in Turkey, during the First World War, is greater than that. Of course, the number of Jews slaughtered on a number of occasions in history, even before the Holocaust, is greater than that. So that the question is, why this particular kind of people are the targets of so much venomous hatred? And I think the answer is that they not only succeed, they succeed in a way which is a threat to the egos of other people. But the guy who comes here, let's say from Vietnam or Korea, and arrives here with little more than the clothes on his back and a few words of broken English, and a decade later, he has his own little business, and you see his son a few years after that getting ready to go off to Harvard or MIT. You've got to ask yourself, you either got to, you've got to hate yourself for saying, my God, I've been stagnating. This guy was nothing, and now he's risen up, or you're going to have to hate him. Years ago, one official of one of the Jewish organizations in New York asked me, what can Jews themselves do in order to minimize the hostility they face? I gave him a one-word answer: fail. Because as long as you succeed, you're going to be hated.
And obviously, he's 100% right. Jordan Peterson talks about it often. He says that Jews are not only a minority, meaning they're a small group, so people hate on them, but they're also a successful minority. They have the nerve to be successful even though they are small. And often, it's basically taken down to the phrase of hate us because they ain't us. People are generally jealous and also suspicious of Jews due to their incredible success in America. People label them as controlling the media, controlling the weather, and controlling many other things. But obviously, we know a lot of that is hyped up. And then a lot of it is very true. And Jews are very successful in the United States and across the world. A lot of that is because of Jewish culture, as well as Ashkenazi Jewish genes. IQs of Ashkenazi Jews are considered 15 points on average higher than the average population, which is an incredible statistic. And by no means does that mean that every Jew is going to be an Einstein, but it does mean on the opposite ends of the spectrum, meaning the extremes, you're going to find a lot of incredible Jews, and that's why we've had so many Nobel Prize winners. So for more, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to help us make more of these videos, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored.